Alright, hello? Hello. I was originally working on a script for this the whole time, and I realized it'd just be easier if I kind of did it visually. It's actually kind of tough to explain it in just the script. So, begin. This is area and region 3 magnitude raycasting. And I should get through positioning first. So what we're gonna start with is Vector3. Vector3 is a positioning, or not. It's a position. It's a position value. So there's, I think you already know, in the 3D space, there's the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. So here it would be let's go to properties, and then you got the x-axis first, and then the y-axis, and then the z-axis, and all this is just, it's studio stuff. You should know this. Okay, so to first create a vector value, Vector3 value, you have to do Vector3.new, and in that you can set whatever position you need to. I mean, for example sake, I'm just gonna put 0s and 1s in all of these, even though that would not work at all. But to add or subtract onto a Vector3 value, you'll have to. The reasoning behind pasting it at the same time, or again, is because let's say you have a value, and this is your value, 0, 0, 0. So you put in this value, and then you equal it to a different value, and this would change it. But if you didn't want to change it, you set it to the same value, so it's Vector3 value equals Vector3 value. It equals the same now. And then you add a plus, which adds onto it. And that's the whole reasoning of adding this again. So you can add, you can subtract. I haven't tried multiplying or dividing, but I guess you can do that. I've never had a need for it. You can also get the Vector3 of an object by retrieving its position. When if you go into properties, you see how there's a position. You can turn this into a value if you go, let's say, the variable is baseplate Vector3, and then you go workspace.baseplate and .position, and then you get this. You should get this. I don't know why you'd get anything else, unless it's like unanchored or something. So, and this is just a quick example of changing the baseplate's position. It moves up 5. Alright. And that's a basic rundown of Vector3. It only changes position. And if you want to change rotation, well, that's what this is for. So, CFrame. You could just go to orientation and change this, but that's not a good idea. I don't know if it's like this anymore, but I remember when scripting, whenever I changed position, let's say you had like a part inside of a part, it would usually click up to the top, and it was really annoying. And I'm sure you don't want that. So I'd use CFrame if you're ever gonna go inside an object. So CFrame is a value that can hold position and rotation or orientation. CFrame, this is a CFrame value. CFrame.new, just like Vector3, and it doesn't automatically come out with a rotation. You'll have to add this, an asterisk, and then CFrame.angles, which I will get into in a sec. So there are more ways than this, but these are the only ways I really find worth using at all. There's CFrame.new, which is position, and then there's CFrame.angles, which is rotation, and then there's Euler angles XYZ, which is also rotation. I'm sure there's a difference, but as it stands, there's no difference to me. And that's CFraming. It's position and rotation. You can do the same thing just like this. You can retrieve something CFrame. Just put CFrame and CFrame. So let's say CFrame doesn't appear in any of this. It's more of a, it's a hidden value, you could say. It doesn't appear in the properties, but it does exist. It's mostly for anyone who's gonna script or code. Think of it as your code frame, I don't know. Magnitude. And magnitude is it's a way to find, like, a value. Shit. Magnitude is a way to find a distance in between two positions. So let's say, visually, let's say you have this part here, and then you have this part here. So, actually, no, let's make this easier. So you have this part here, and then, let's say it's 1, 2, I don't know, that many distance apart. So when you find the magnitude between these two values, I'm confident that the magnitude values are based on the object's center, which is why I believe it's less precise than region 3, because region 3 gets, even if you skim it just a little bit, it'll be able to get it, but you have to get, like, the center. So the distance between these would be 16 studs. And in magnitude terms, let's say, not magnitude terms, yeah, that's right. That's magnitude. So to find this, you'll have to first get this position. So let's call it, like, position 1. By the way, you don't have to use parts, but it's just visual representation. So let's say here's position 2 and here's position 1, and then this is the range between them. So wherever this goes, this is bound to change, but if it's too far, then shit, we're not doing that yet. So the distance between these two will change if here, let's use a beam real quick. Just don't worry about what I'm doing, just hang on. But the distance between the two will, it's dependent on how far each object is. So let's say you have, so as I've stated before, this is 16 in distance. But then, as it moves out, this magnitude will change wherever the object goes. And what I use magnitude for is usually, like, areas of effect, if you're making, like, a fighting game or something. Or if you're really lazy and you don't want to use a region 3, you can use, like, magnitude for areas, like music and whatnot. That's the basic rundown of region 3. Or magnitude. Now, in coding terms, it would probably look like, alright, let's say you have position 1 equals vector3.new 0 to 0 to 0, and then say position 2 equals vector3.new 10 10 10. So this would be, I would say at least, like, I don't know, 10 studs apart. I could be very wrong though. So then with these two positions, let's say you want to get the magnitude. I usually use it like this. So let's say position 1 and then minus position 2. Now the minus is I never really understood, because I taught myself how to script and I didn't really put together what I was doing. I just kind of memorized things and said, okay, this works like this. So after subtracting, you get magnitude, and then you get the distance between these two. And it doesn't matter if it's negative or not. It can be negative, it's fine. It'll still give you a value. and then the magnitude will give you it. It prints the distance between the two positions. It gives, okay, and that's basically magnitude. For example, in an example, I'd probably use magnitude like let's say if position 1 minus position 2 dot magnitude is greater than, let's say like 5, then print part positions are too far apart. And they are too far apart. So it should print parts are too far apart, or positions too far apart. As we wait for this to load, so region 3, it gives you an area according to what two positions you set. I'll show you that in a sec. Yeah, positions too far apart because it's 10. So now raycasting. Actually, no. Let's get into region 3 since I've been talking about it. So region 3 is more visual representation here. Region 3 is, let's say you have two positions. Instead of just giving you a like a line, region 3 is an area. It's a region. You can use it as an area, you could say. Like if you want to make a game with like, oh, if you enter this area, you get new music. So let's say, for example, these two positions are far apart, and then this will be our area, I assume. So since they're this far apart, it's going to stretch all the way down here, stretch this wide, and then this far. Oh, overshot. But this would be your region 3 because of the two positions you set. You only have to set two positions. You can't, if you're wondering if you can try to make some weird like formation that is not, you can't do that with a single region 3. You're gonna have to use multiple. So if you're trying to do some weird stuff like, I don't know, that in one line, that's not gonna happen. So this would be a single region 3. Unless you get rid of shadows, because that's really annoying. Now I'll show you how to put this to work. So let's say region 3, or shit, region 3 variable. And when creating a region 3, you're gonna do region 3.new, which is gonna be the case for lots of things. So let's say position 1 equals. Let's just get these positions. It's fine. Say position 1 equals this. 3.new. Let's get rid of those decimals real quick. So this is position 1, and let's get position 2. So, yep. No need to round. And then let's put position 1 here and the position 2 here. Honestly, I don't think it matters what order these are put in, because either way, it's just, all it is it's just two positions. Even if it says minimum and maximum, just don't worry about it. So now you've created a region 3. Region 3 is created. Now we have to put it to work. So let's say region, this is a little bit weird, but let's say regions equal variable. Shoot. Can the notification stop? Hold on, I gotta. Why? No, this. Okay. Shit, I kind of jumped the gun, sorry. So, it's workspace, not region, through variable. And you're gonna want find parts in region 3. Now there's with whitelist and with ignore list. Both of these are pretty good because I don't know why there's with ignore list and without ignore list, because with ignore list and just the normal one, because they're basically the same thing. It doesn't make sense. So you have this one, and then you have this one for whoever wants it, I guess. I don't know. I'll just do this to it. No, god damn it, studio. Okay. So let's say this will be your region 3 variable, which goes here, and then here is supposed to go your what you're ignoring, you could say, or yeah. Let's just put ignore list, which is gonna happen in the next thing, raycasting. And then down here you can have max parts, but let's just put, I don't know, 5, 15. It doesn't really matter what you put. And by max parts, it's like, it means the max parts that it'll get. And for the sake of this, let's just put a part here. Let's call it Billy, so we can identify it. So Billy here is gonna just kind of chill, you know, until we run the game. So what this makes, it'll make a region. It'll make a list of all the parts it hits. And this isn't like a reoccurring, it's not like a touch function where it happens constantly. This is a one-time thing. So if you wanted to rapid fire, you'd have to rapid fire this function, which I would not suggest is the best idea, in the server at least. I think on the client it would be fine. So now, this is something I should have taught in the basics, I'm sorry. If you're watching these in order, thanks. I don't have to recorrect anything. But this is something you're gonna learn that it's like you're basically going through a whole table, and for every item in the table, you can create a function for each. So for now, let's do a region list. For I, comma V in pairs, V will be the parts you find. Items in the list. Yeah. Table. Do. Did I do something wrong? Huh? Oh, shoot. My bad. Let's create a ignore list. Let's just... No. And then... let's do, in pairs, region, let's do print v.name. And now when we play, in the output, we should get Billy. Alright, apparently. Okay, actually, instead of nil, let's just put 2 brackets. Yep. Just so you know that it's supposed to be a table. Put it down here too. This is kind of weird actually. Print region list. Oh. Wait, no. What? No. Wait, no. Okay, I screwed up. So you're actually ignoring a part, which it's so stupid. Whatever. No. It's actually how? don't understand. Why is this not working? What is the problem with this? Holy sh... Okay. This hasn't happened before. And I'm sure it's something really simple that I'm just not seeing. It gave me an error earlier, and now it's to what? Unable to cast value to object. Oh no! 462. Which one is the object? Screw off notification. Alright, hold on, let's try this. Region list. And let's do it with, oh wait, whoops. Uh-oh. If this one works, I'm... Find parts is not a valid member. What do you mean it's not a valid member of workspace? Oh, with... Yeah. It didn't give an error this time. Why didn't I do this beforehand? Why did I just decide to start? Oh god. You know what? I'm gonna give you something to solve all your problems for Region 3. Are you ready? Here you go. This is a region module. This is made by Axis Angle, also known as Trey Reynolds. This is really good because it's easy and you don't have to do anything. This is beyond my level of coding, as you can see. This guy is some genius, mastermind of some sort. How you use it, you just kind of... Let's just... region module equals required. So that region module, wherever it is. Just do region module. And then point from part. Why? This is so stupid. You know what? Well, if I ever do Region 3 specific stuff, I will cover it in that video. This is too much. Just... I'll leave my failure here for everyone to see. Why? Alright, raycasting. So raycasting is like the same thing. Let's say you have two positions. Let's say your position is down here, and let's say this is in the way. So when this ray is being cast between these two parts, let's say the starting position is this one. As it's being casted, it's gonna stop at the wall, and when it stops at the wall, it creates a value. It creates what part it hit and what the position was of where it hit. So let's say it hit right here, meaning it is no longer able to get here. So it would print the wall and its current position. So you got position 1, position 2, and an ignore list, an ignore table. Find part on ray. So first you got to create a ray, just like the region 3. Ray.new, position 1. And then for this, you're going to have to do position 1 minus position 2. Dot unit, and then multiply it by 300. Why? Don't worry about it. It creates a really long ray. So this will create two values. So you'll have to set two variables actually. So you got part and then comma position equals 2, because it's returning two things. So this will be the part it hits, and then this will be the position. So it's workspace, find part on ray, put the ray in, the ignore list, and then this false and true is for terrain. So if you want the terrain to be treated as cubes, like blocks, then turn this on, but I'd leave it off. I don't know why it's an option. and then ignore terrain water if you want to go through water. And then whatever it hits, it should print that thing. And actually, instead of trying to write an example, I'm just going to show you an example of where I used it. It's a much better idea. Okay, so if you know me, you're probably familiar with this, but this is something I made in the past. Now, before I show you my coding, just learn that this is not a good way to script. Never ever do this. I've done it for so long that I'm just flat out used to it. But if you do it the correct way, it's much easier to read. When you're doing the correct way, it should look like. Let's just grab this one. It should look like this. See how it's all indented and nice and easy to read? That's what you want. You don't want this abomination right here. This is bad. How are you gonna read any of this? This place is also uncopy locked, so I'll put it in the description if you want it. If you want to mess with it, look at some of this stuff. Alright, so raycasting. I used it in the explosion magic thing. I also used magnitude. Magnitude and raycasting. That's pretty cool. I also used region 3 in this. I used a little bit of everything, which I will show you. So, here's the region 3. So, I can't really explain this to you. Just know that, hey, this is... You find parts in a region with a whitelist. This is the region, this is the whitelist, and it only allows 10 parts. And then this is the table. And this is the whole function that happens. Great. And this is what I guess I should have done. So I gave off a position and a size. So I did position minus size. Yeah, this would have been way better to know in the past. I'm sorry. I keep thinking I should just kind of wing it, but it never works. Alright, let me show off the explosion, I guess. So, explosion magic, the raycasting, it, where is it? I had to add raycasting because I didn't want people, like, clicking over walls. That's just nasty. So, in scripts, you can press Control H, or Command, whatever, Mac, PC, raycast. So right here, find part on Ray with ignore list. Don't worry about these variables. I just kind of call stuff things. So you see, you got position 1, which is the humanoid, your body, and then this is your mouse. And then with that, 5,000 to ensure that it goes really far. And this magnitude thing right here is to check if it's greater than 200. If it's greater than 200, it's gonna stop extending. That's what I did. And actually, this may be the last basics because this is actually hurting me physically, and I'll probably move on to just cool stuff. And I'll explain anything I haven't explained in those for people who want to actually learn. It's just, there's this thing where people are just like, I don't feel like learning. I know everything already. Or I just want the script. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. This is modeled after Arcane Adventures. So a little bit of everything. This area is a region 3. So the raycasting. So since it's super far, it happens way out there. But raycasting, let's say I wanted to put my mouse over there. It exploded into the wall because the position hit here, and it didn't allow it to go any further. And that's why I love raycasting. So the magnitude is used for the explosion, which is, let's put him here. So the magnitude checks his magnitude, see if he's close enough, and then if he's close enough, it fires a function that does damage. That was a bad example. All the dummies died. That's kind of strange. Is there any reason? I'm not here to give off a spiel why, or about my own games, but forget this basics ever happened. I'm gonna keep updating the script and make it work, but in terms of videos, I'm gonna move on to I'm gonna just move on to you know, just attacks, weaponry, and whatsoever. So I'll put this place in the description if you want to mess with it. And I'm gonna go rethink my life choices. And yep, goodbye. I'm done. I can't. It sucks. It sucks. I don't.